In this video, we'll be taking a look at the atom array and the array generators. Inside the object palette on the subdivision surface generator, click and hold and it will reveal all the other generators. Okay, let's create an array generator and also create an atom array generator. Okay, let's start with the array generator. What the array generator does is that it creates a radial clone of the object. So let's create a cube and make it a child of the array generator here. And you see it creates a clone in the radial form of the object. With the array selected, we can actually change the radius, okay, and change the number of clones that it creates. Okay, so that's what the array generator does. It creates an array of clones in the radial form of an object, and the object that you want to create the clone for, or the objects that you want to create those arrays for, should be a child of the generator. That's how generators work. Okay, so let's hide this and the cube. Okay, now with the atom array, it creates a sphere and a cylinder along the segments of that object. So let's create another cube, okay, and let's view the shading lines of that cube. Okay, this cube has these shading lines. Okay, so if you put this cube inside the atom array, this is what the atom array does. It creates a cylinder and a sphere along the segment lines of an object. Okay, so on each point of that object, it will create a sphere. And each edge of that object, it will create a cylinder. Okay, now if you increase the segments of that object, the atom array will still create all those things on that segment. So let's say we have 3 segments on the x-axis, also 3 on the y, and 3 on the z. You see that as we increase the segments, the atom array is creating the spheres on the points and the cylinders on the segment lines. Now with the atom array selected, you can actually change the radius of the sphere and the cylinder. So let's say I want the sphere to be 2 centimeters and the cylinder to be also 2. You see that you don't see the spheres are there, but because they are the same size, you don't actually see them. Okay, and then you can increase the subdivisions. This is also the segment of the sphere and the cylinder that the atom array creates. You can increase their segments. Okay, and you can choose to make it a single object. Like this is now a single object. Okay, so that is simply the atom array and the array generators. That's the difference between them. The array creates a clone of arrays or array clones of that object, okay, in a radial form, and you can change the number of copies it creates and also the radius. Whilst the atom array creates a sphere and a cylinder on the points and edges or the segment lines of an object. So that is simply the difference between those two generators. Thank you and see you in the next video.